National 5 Maths, Practice Paper F, Paper 2. Now in question 9, we've got to find the weight of the parcel on the scales, and to do that you have to first of all find out what the arc length is, because the weight that's on the scales is connected to the size of angle that the pointer goes round. So we're going to have to work out the arc length first of all. So the angle is 284 degrees, so it's 284 over 360 times pi, and the diameter, it tells us this pointer is 9 centimetres long, so that means the diameter would be double that, which is going to be 18. So multiplying all that together gives us 44.6 centimetres. Now what it tells us in the question here, for every 100 grams it moves 2 centimetres, and we've got 44.6 centimetres. So if you think of it this way, 2 centimetres movement would be 100 grams in weight. So divide that by 2, tells us that a 1 centimetre movement would be a 50 gram weight. Now we're after 44.6 centimetres movement, so we're just going to times by 44.6. So 44.6 centimetres equals 50 times 44.6, and that is 2,230 grams. Now in question 10, we're given this equation where D stands for the number of diagonals in a polygon and n's the number of sides. And in part A, what we have to do is find out how many diagonals a polygon of 7 sides has. So that just means n is equal to 7. Now all we need to do here then is substitute in n is 7 into this equation. So D equals a half times 7, brackets 7 minus 3. Now rather than doing a half of 7 is 3.5 and multiplying it by that, it's probably easier if we just say a half times 7 times 4. Well, 7 fours are 28, so it's a half of 28. That equals 14 diagonals. Now in part B, this time it tells us the number of diagonals, not the number of sides. So 65 is what D is equal to. So D equals 65. So we've got to use D as 65 in conjunction with this equation here and end up with this. So I'll just write that down a wee bit further down. So D is 65, so 65 equals a half n minus 3. Remember, this is our thing that we're aiming for. Now I have this half here. It would be easier if that wasn't there, so I'm going to times both sides by 2. So I'm going to have 130 equals, so 2 times a half is just 1, so that can just be left off, n minus 3. So it's 130 equals, multiplying out the brackets, it's n squared minus 3n. Now have we looked to see what we're aiming for here? N squared minus 3n, we've got n squared minus 3n, minus 130, so we're going to subtract 130 from both sides. So we end up with what we're asked to show there. Then hence find the number of sides in this polygon. So you can either factorise it or you could use a quadratic equation. It's the second paper, so you can use a calculator, so either one's fine. But we have to start off with this equation here. So 0 equals, now factorising it, it's going to give us n plus 10, n minus 13. So for this bracket to be equal to 0, n would be equal to negative 10. You can't have a negative number of sides, doesn't make any sense, so we can scrap that. For this bracket to be equal to 0, add the 13. So that means the polygon would have 13 sides if there were 65 diagonals.